Hey, it's Allergy actress Mary Beth EVERSOLE coming to you today on this gorgeous Earth Day. I want to celebrate that today with this amazing kale salad that we're going to make. My diet likens itself to lots of vegetables, lots of things that come naturally from the earth, not processed, not any of that stuff. I just want to talk a little bit about Earth Day. It was founded by Senator Gaylord Nelson after he saw the horrific damages caused by this Santa Barbara oil spill in 1969 here in Santa Barbara, California. Earth Day has been the catalyst for so many environmental laws being passed. The Clean Air Act, for one, and even the Endangered Species Act, you know, all of these. Go look it up. It's amazing what Earth Day has caused to happen for the benefit of our environment and our world. So anyway, this is my small contribution. This is my allergy-friendly kale salad, and I'm so excited to share it with you. Here are the ingredients. Starting over here, you are going to have the juice of 3/4 of one large orange plus the zest of 3/4 of one large orange. By the way, if you've never zested an orange before, I have a very small cheese grater that I use. It's a handheld cheese grater. Let me show it to you. It looks like this. Kind of like a zester, it's just got like a curve. You can also invest in a zester. It's about that size, but it's flat. You just hold it flat over the thing and you zest the whatever citrus you're zesting. So, woohoo. Okay, so then we have Brussels sprouts. Now, you can be really awesome and do these to the Brussels sprouts yourself, which means you would have to deflower them, like take out the hard edge leaves on the outside, make sure you wash them, and then you would want to use a mandolin to slice them, or you could use the mandolin attachment on your food processor, but that takes so much time, and why not just go to Trader Joe's and get it done already? Look at that, so easy. And then you want to get some kale, and you can use dino kale, or you know, you can use other kale too. It's just kind of taste preference, I think. So I will show you guys how to chop that one up in a little bit. Okay, so then we've got, I'm using raw cashews. Now you can use pecans, that's what the original recipe called for, but I don't do very well with pecans. So I'm using cashews, and I'm going to roast them with the coconut oil over here. And those will go into the salad on top. And then pomegranate arils. These are, again, thank you so much, Trader Joe's, for taking all the hard work out of it for me. Okay, so another ingredient, extra virgin olive oil. And then it called for white vinegar. I don't have white vinegar, so I'm using red wine vinegar, because a lot of white vinegar actually has corn in it. So I'm using red wine vinegar. Organic, fair trade, raw agave nectar. You can use any agave nectar. I just decided to go with that. Dijon mustard, and of course, salt and pepper. What? Go Broncos! All right, on to the main event. Okay, so I promised I'd show you how to slice up some kale. So this is how you're going to want to do it. You see these real thick stems that you've got here? Yeah, you don't want to eat those. So you want to make sure that very carefully start at the top and slice your way down so you get the leaf off and the stem is away from the leaf. And then you do the other side, just like that. Pull the top off. And then you just have that stem. I just back to the earth, okay? And you'll do that with all of the kale over here, and then when you've got it all sliced up, then you make it go into thin ribbons for your salad. So you slice like this, and you can do several leaves at once so that it goes faster. But yeah, essentially you want small ribbons of kale, because a large gunk of kale in your mouth, it's not the most appealing thing. So so yeah, this is what it ends up looking like. Okay. Next step in this salad assembly, more gifts of the earth, the Brussels sprouts. Let's dump them in. You're wanting about 2 cups of Brussels sprouts, and that's about the equivalent of this bag. So, boom. By the way, I put all the kale all thinly sliced in the bottom there. And then you're going to want to toss it. Ta-da! Toss it up, preferably away from the sharp knives. And let's see. Next step coming up. Well, you'll see in a minute. But there's your salad. Ah. While we were doing all of the kale and Brussels sprout stuff, I was warming the oven up at 350 degrees because we want to roast our cashews or pecans, whichever you decide to use. I have melted some coconut oil, and now I'm going to put a teaspoon of coconut oil over the nuts so that they are evenly coated, which means I'm probably going to have to, like, you know, scoot them around a little bit so that they're covered in the oil. And then after you coat them, you're going to want to spread them out on the pan and then put them in the oven for about 5 minutes until they become aromatic, meaning you can smell them and it smells good, not bad. Okay. So, get a blender and you're going to want to put Dijon. So you want 2 teaspoons of the Dijon. My teaspoon just fits. That's very nice. So 2, whoa, messy. 1 teaspoon, and you're going to need a thing to scrape the sides. 2 teaspoons. So you get the Dijon in there, and then you want to do a teaspoon of this raw agave nectar, and I think I bought it brand new, so I got to take the lid off. And you want a teaspoon of this. And again, like I said, it doesn't have to be raw. It can be just the regular agave, but I like the raw. So, doop, doop, doop. Dump it in. You want a teaspoon of the vinegar, white, or in my case, I'm using red wine vinegar. Whoa. Okay, a little bit more than a teaspoon. Again, this is dressing, so it's kind of whatever you want. So, to taste. So then you want to make sure that you take your orange juice from that 3/4 of the orange, dump that in, and try to get some of that stuff off the side. And then the zest, now I did the whole orange zested, but you really only need half a teaspoon of the zest. So I dump that in, boom. Ooh, that smells so good. Ah! Okay, and then you're going to blend that up for a little while. And then we start adding the olive oil. So blending. Now for the olive oil, you're going to want to do, it's kind of just like whatever, it's to your taste. So you just kind of start pouring it in a little bit at a time. And then you want to, so be careful because it does that. It goes, right? And then, ooh, that smells good. I'll put a little bit more. I think that's good for me. So, we'll pulse it. And you should end up with like half a cup to 3/4 cup of dressing. Also, don't forget salt and pepper. Hello. So salt and pepper. I'm a fan of pepper, so I put that in. And let's do this again. Alright, we've got our salad. That's the kale and the Brussels sprouts. And now we're going to put our pomegranate arils in there to your liking. So this is a giant salad, so I'm going to put them all there. And then you've got those nuts that you roasted. You guys, they smell so good. Like, oh, yeah. And then just kind of scoop that in there. And then you have your dressing, which you pour over the top. And by the way, if you're not serving this all in one sitting, you don't have to use the dressing all at once. You can save it in a little container, closed container, put it in the fridge, and then serve it up as you see fit in a bowl. So now we toss the salad. Heck yeah! Toss it in! I'm tossing the salad! And I love it! I learned this technique where you do the twisty thingy. That seems to help get like some of the That hurts my thumb. It helps to get some of the dressing off the bottom because that's where it went, you know. Okay, so that's my salad, y'all. Let's get a... This salad is just for me, so I'm going to break a rule and totally just eat it from this bowl. So I'm going to get some pomegranates, going to get some... I'm going to get a net there. And let's try it. Oh, just Okay. There's a lot going on here. Okay. So, you obviously get the kind of sweet nuttiness of the cashews. The dressing, the orange hit me smack in the face right at first, and then I started tasting the Dijon. And then I got the earthy / nuttiness of the kale, and then I got the Brussels sprout, which was a really pleasant flavor there at the end, and I got the sweetness of the pomegranate kind of smack in the middle because I got one in my mouth and it went crunch. So yeah, that's awesome. Okay, you guys, this is Allergy Actress signing off. Till next time.